and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Fix-It presents Legendary Gaming. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us here for yet another episode of Tabletop Takeout Tuesday. And that's because it does air every single Tuesday. We have videos that drop every day of the week, but this is the one you can count on Tuesdays. And what do we do here? This isn't really a review. This is like bullet points of what I enjoyed about a particular title and game, why I have liked when it hit the table, and why I'm looking forward to it hitting the table yet again. So now, this particular game, I have talked about expansions in this series before, but as you could probably imagine, I don't talk about them a lot because I don't know who has the base core games. Maybe you don't have it, so then you wouldn't be interested in this. But there are some expansions, like this one, that I feel are so integral to the game that they are essentially, even though they're an expansion, should be part of the core game itself. And that's one of the reasons why I'm talking about Batman the Animated Series, Arkham Asylum. So join me down the table and I'll tell you why I've enjoyed this game. Thank you for taking your time to come down here to the table and listen to what I have to say. Now, as I mentioned, I don't normally jump right into talking about expansions because they're a little niche, right? I mean, I don't know who has the base game and core game or not. And usually in most cases, an expansion, from what I've found, doesn't make someone go buy the core game just so they can have the expansion parts of it. Now, I've definitely gone and bought expansion games because of core games that I enjoy. But I can't think of one that's reversed. I haven't seen an expansion for a game I don't have that's made me want to go get the game so I can get the expansion. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there. But there are some expansions, however, that do feel like they should be part of the core game. And this is one of those games. And that's why I wanted to bring that tension here, even though it is an expansion. So if you look right over here, you're going to see Batman, Shadow of the Bat. It's a Batman Animated Series game by IDW. And actually right next to that is what I want to talk about. The Arkham Asylum expansion pack for this does genuinely feel like the rules and everything, and even the adventures that go with these new rules, could have, should have, would have, might have in another part of the multiverse somewhere be actually part of the core system. Now, what this is bringing, why I feel this way, mainly is because of the Clayface mode. Now, in the core game, you have the one player, you have cooperative, you have competitive. Someone can play the villains and someone else playing the heroes. One versus all style with multiple players playing up to 4 heroes and against one person playing the villain. Right? There's these nice little different styles to the game. And in fact, the cooperative and the competitive play differently. They do. They essentially have different elements in their play mode, their mechanics that really come through. That's why I feel like the Clayface mode and the Arkham Asylum expansion felt like it should have been part of the core game. Now, financially, I understand why companies want to do this and divide games out, because they can make more money this way. If they had included this into the base game, it would have made the base game too much for most people. It would have priced a lot of people out. As it is, it's priced a few people out. And this way they're able to divide it out, and they know that more people will likely buy the base game and then later an expansion like Arkham. Even if it's going to cost them the same amount of money, or even a little more, than if it was all in the base core game for one big lump sum. So that's why they do things like this, but it still feels like it should have been part of the core game. I love the fact that there's so many more villains that are being brought to the game to make your immersion into the animated series even more complete. Jerks Tesh, Baby Doll, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, Hugo Strange, Clayface, of course, himself, which is a nice big figure. It's wonderful to see these villains now added to the possible adventures and stories that you can have. Whether you're playing through, and this is another nice touch for both the core game and, of course, obviously the expansion here, is that even if you play through, you want to talk about replayability, even if you play through all the published adventures for it, the way this game is set up, you can pretty much do anything you want. Within obvious limits, of course, it's a board game. But you can set up battles between various villains and heroes that never met or crossed paths in the animated series as it is. You can essentially create your own episodes. And this just ramps it up so much with so many more options. So many more options that they have with the number of villains. And this Clayface mode, a hidden traitor mode. Somebody in the party, somebody is Clayface. And you got to suss out who it is before Clayface takes you all out. I do really do enjoy hidden traitor, hidden role games. They really are so much fun because I like it when a game builds up a little bit of tension. You know, obviously you don't want too much. You don't want to go overboard with it. But to set up a bit of tension to begin with, yeah, that's really fun in the game. And this does that like nothing else in the entire board game series for Batman the Animated Series. The Arkham Asylum version of it really does just bring it to life with that whole hidden traitor role. You got to try it. Now, once again, just like the core game, let me just say that these miniatures are absolutely amazing. I don't paint. I often say this because I don't know if it's a new viewer watching this or not, but I've never had the talent to paint or the time to learn that talent. So I'm not a figure painter, but I have seen painted versions of these that, my God, look like they've jumped off of one of the cells off of the cartoon series, one of the animation cells. They look that great. And that's partly because of the way the miniatures are done. It's not just the painter and the paint technique. These miniatures look and have the feel exactly like they themselves. Like they're just a grayed out version of an animation cell from the show. That's how good they look. And I've said this before because it's true. Whenever you have components for a game that you love looking at, that draw your eyes to the board, that's always an extra bonus to the game. It's making you look at it. And that's exactly what the quality of these miniatures, I find, are doing. This is, thematically speaking, this is a near perfect immersion, really, into the animated series. And this expansion adds to it even more, pulling you deeper into the depths that is Batman the Animated Series. If you're a fan of the show in any way, shape, or form, and you also happen to be a board gamer, I implore you, get as much information on this game as you can, learn about it, inform yourself, and I'm pretty damn sure you're going to decide that you're going to want this game. So please, go get yourself more information on Batman the Animated Series, Arkham Asylum.